Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Moody. How are you, Jean?
I'm fabulous.
Welcome back.
I
missed you. You've been gone half the week.
I know. I was busy doing presenter search stuff, and we're going to be chatting some more presenter search stuff a little bit later on the show with the absolutely glorious Lorna Maseko.
Absolutely. So before we get started, we know that many of our viewers are currently observing Ramadan,
which has just reached the halfway point, I think. So we just want to send the best of our wishes out to all of our Muslim viewers and their families.
Absolutely. And coming
Inshallah.
up on Afternoon Express today, we showcase the incredible talents of award-winning contemporary dancer and choreographer Sbonkaliso Ndaba, who co-founded the Indoni Dance Academy in Cape Town that gives disadvantaged youth a platform to grow and learn.
Absolutely stunning. Now, from the art of modern dance to the fashion of yesteryear, we've got the founders of vintage fashion shop Coco and Miles in the loft to show us some classic items that are always on trend.
Now, one thing that never goes out of style is good beauty advice, and later we bring you the next installment in our Dr. Anushka Reddy Cosmetic series. Today we're looking at the latest in aesthetics.
Now, our first guest is a media personality who made his debut on TV more than 10 years ago in the reality show Famous on SABC2, where he formed part of a boy band called Atom.
Now, as a presenter, he got his first gig on Yo TV in the same year and has come a long way since. He recently became the first South African correspondent for one of the world's biggest entertainment news shows. It's Kathelo Sinivasan.
My name is Kathelo Sinivasan. And we are up and ready to serve you that breakfast show realness. I hope you're ready. Yeah.
Right now, though, it is time for us to show you a funny clip. Apparently, abantu bamilaba ngoba bayenza ama magic tricks, and I'm always pulling tricks out of my head.
Oh,
Check it out. Welcome back to Mzansi Insider. Our next guest is the perfect example of a dream chaser and a hustler, coming from a poor background and ending up homeless in Johannesburg after his tertiary plans didn't go well. Nothing stopped him from getting where he is today. Well, now you can learn. Have a look. Drop the beats. Let's go. Woo!
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are dressed to kill, might I add.
Look, there's no sun in Cape Town, so I decided to be the sunshine in your lives.
Yeah, we needed it. So we are so ridiculously proud of you and so envious of you. Tell us about this audition process that made you now the African correspondent for one of the biggest entertainment news channels in the world.
In the world, absolutely. I mean, probably the most taxing thing I've ever done,
really?
Because after presenting for such a long time, you don't want to get into a competition and then possibly lose the competition and be the presenter who was presenting who didn't win the presenting competition.
So it was a big
risk to take.
Do you know what I mean? It was like a heavy weight on my shoulders, but I was so hungry. And I'm so passionate about presenting that I really put my best foot forward in every single challenge.
And you were quite well versed in competitions. I mean, you were in Famous, right?
True. My first job came from a search where they were searching for a group of talented singers and dancers. I'm a triple threat, by the way. I can sing, I can double pirouette.
You are going to do it. You're now going to actually have to demonstrate because you've told us
I lied
you're a
about the
triple
double
threat.
pirouette. I can probably
but you can sing.
Yes.
And crump and sing.
Oh, it's just like, welcome to Afternoon Express. You sing with an American accent? Wow.
I reckon
Was that the singing, or was that an intro to the singing?
I did.
No, I want to hear some Drake.
Yeah, I want to actually hear proper vibes.
Like a Drake. What Drake song do I know?
You know all of them, apparently.
True.
I've done some research, and I hear you know
okay, let me
all
say
of the
for you.
Drake
It's not going to be amazing, though. Grips on your waist, front way, back way. You know that I don't play. Streets not safe, but I gotta run away, even when I'm away. Get it? Genie T Bunny, what you gotta say?
I'm going to say Drake definitely does play.
No, you know what? I think you're a triple threat at charming.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you
can vibe
charm
with that.
your way through most tough situations.
That was her saying she didn't think you were a hot singer.
True.
Would you say
She's
that?
right.
real?
I do charm myself out of really sticky situations. I'm also a very introverted person, so I don't get into much sticky situations. My life is pretty boring.
Yeah. Something that I have noticed about you and that we commend about you is your work ethic. And I think in the entertainment industry, everything that you do when you're young has an effect and the impact of who you are when you are established in your career.
Absolutely.
So I want to know about how those early years of yours has created the talent, I suppose, that you have now to be able to be on the platform that you are.
I think growing up, I was always taught to be confident because I was not a confident child.
Yeah.
So it's almost something that I had to learn consistently in the way that I speak to older people, in the way that I speak around my friends. I was never the kid who stood out. So this is something that I had to learn, and I'm still learning. So it really did influence me because now my aim is to always stand out. And I never just want to fade into the background. And I do it as authentically as I possibly can.
So a little bird told us that you've been very honest and courageous in sharing that you struggle with anxiety.
Yes.
Now, it's something that I've struggled with in the past. And I know that because you have this thing that you feel like is chasing you, you almost have an extra need to be authentic.
Yes.
In case you get caught in any difficult situation, you can basically truth or reel your way out of it.
True.
Have you found that it's forced you to be a more authentic, real person?
I think ultimately, when you struggle with anxiety, it's because you're preparing for the worst case scenario. So in my preparing for the worst case scenario, that's just me being real so that I'm never caught off guard or in a situation that I can't get myself out of. So it definitely does affect me every day, every moment. I was
But it
anxious
does
before.
keep you on your toes, though, right?
Totally. I was anxious before I hopped on. And then the
Really?
minute they said action, you know, the lights were shining.
You must be careful because we did a show on adrenal fatigue and that will create adrenal fatigue unless you medicate it. I've got adrenal fatigue and it's
Careful.
fun.
I love that.
You must be careful.
I love how Jesus is like, you must be careful.
So like I'm a strike of
I
balance.
just want to mother him.
I know.
Please do mother me all day, Jeannie. Are you
I
kidding?
will.
Okay, that escalated fast. We've got more to come from Kat after the break. Plus, we catch up with cosmetic treatment expert Dr. Anushka Reddy to get her thoughts on the latest in aesthetic treatments. Come here, baby.
For the freshest peri-peri prawns and espetadas, dine out tonight in Mozambique. With Travel Start's return flights to Maputo from under 3,300 Rand. East African spice meets the Indian Ocean's bounty over an open fire. It's a food lover's getaway to glorious Mozambique for under 3,300 Rand. Another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstart.co.za. Subject to availability. T's and C's apply.
It's the food lover's dream escape to Rome, returned from just 6,700.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. You know what we say? We say if it's yellow, let it mellow. We're back on the couch with Kathelo Sinivasan.
I mean, I never say that.
She never does.
She never does. Yeah. So tell us about the road to your dream. Well, I guess the beginning of many dreams to come.
Yeah.
But one of your biggest achievements. I know Jeannie's very jealous.
No, I was just thinking, if it looks like mustard, it must be delicious like custard.
Oh, my word. You guys are so cheesy. What is happening?
I know. We've got some wine chilling with this cheese. But
You should be giving me some. What's happening? I think the journey started on my very first job because I always wanted to be a television host. I always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to be a musician. And these are all things that I still aspire to do right now.
Yeah.
It's just that TV hosting happened first. So now to be hosting on the platform that I'm hosting on, which is something that I always imagined and wanted, is incredible. But the reality is the work has just begun. Because the dream, I still haven't achieved my dream, which is to be international, standing on the Hollywood streets and hosting as a South African correspondent.
But you're close. You're very close. I mean, the door is open for you. Have you met Ryan Seacrest, and who are some of the international stars that you've met so far?
I have not met Ryan, and they did tell me that Ryan is one of the busiest people on the planet, which makes sense because he does a whole lot of stuff. But I did get to meet Jason Kennedy, who's like second to the throne, right?
Exactly.
I got to meet Zuri Hall, who's a really good friend of mine.
She's phenomenal.
Kat Sadler, she's incredible as well. And I got a message from Charlize Theron, and she said my name. I mean, say my name, say my name.
Say my name,
Charlize.
say my name.
Oh, love. That's
amazing.
Incredible.
And just is it everything that you expected it to be? Is it everything that you dreamed, or is it more? And how hard is the work?
It's not everything that I dreamed because I thought I was just going to be living in New York by now, so not really. In reality, the job is everything that I wanted because I love to learn. I love to be critiqued because that's what makes you better, and that's exactly what happens. But I just know that there's so much more that's in store, that's coming. I can almost feel it unravel gradually.
Absolutely. And they say when amazing things are going to happen in your life, you need to know it first before everybody, right? It's something that's just an internal atmosphere that you have. But said no one ever, I love being critiqued. Have you ever heard anyone say that?
Can I tell you, when somebody does give you critique where it comes from a really good place and you're going to grow from it, then I do appreciate it.
We're also only speaking constructive criticism.
But critique isn't nasty.
We're not talking the comment section.
No, that's not critique.
Instagram?
On Instagram, no.
That's waffle. That's not critique. Okay, now what I love about you so much is your relationship with your mom.
Absolutely.
And it's such a beautiful narrative. I read that she gave up so much for you, and that you just give her so much.
See, she even slayed me in the selfie. Look at me, and then look at her.
She's amazing.
It's like, what happened to the kid? She sacrificed every single thing from probably the minute I came out. Do you know what I mean? And my biggest support system, almost just like my coach. Do you know what I mean?
She's so fly.
Yeah, she's also just like food has never been kind, so keep it together, work out. Go to the gym.
Wow,
I mean, she's 52
gorgeous.
years old.
Really?
And she jogs every single day. But definitely the most important person in the world to me.
Yeah. Wow. I heard that she bought you your first car so that you could go to auditions.
Yes.
And that she would take the bus or a taxi so that you could. I mean, wow.
Selfless.
But listen, she must be so proud of you.
I know. She knows I'm on the show right now. She's watching. Hey,
Mom.
Mom.
You are so amazing. We love you.
Yes, there we go. Jeannie loves you. That's insane, right?
But congratulations. We're so proud of you. And we definitely know that the sky's the limit. But one thing that your reputation does precede you, we were told that you are such a humble person.
Yeah.
I am. And you know, people say bad things will humble you. I don't believe that.
No.
Good things will humble you because I was all up in my head before I went through the competition, the search to be particular, and I just calmed down. I'm not the guy who goes straight to the back of the room. I don't want to sit in front and have everybody see me and see that I've arrived. I'm just like, I'm here to do something, and that's exactly what I'm here for. I'm not here for the fluff that comes with it.
Bless you. You've got a great journey ahead of you.
Yes, ladies.
Now, if you've had or are considering a cosmetic procedure, then this feature is for you. As president of the Cosmetic Doctors Association of South Africa, Dr. Anushka Reddy practices, teaches, and writes on this subject. And today, we get her perspective on this fast-evolving field of medicine. Dr. Reddy is a GP with a special interest in cosmetic dermatology and advanced aesthetics for the last 15 years. As a female doctor, she understands firsthand the competing demands of work and well-being.
I think that this field of medicine is so dynamic, it's so exciting, and it affords patients the opportunity to look their best. And I think I'm part of a very privileged few who are actually seen as these purveyors of beauty. And that is why I love my job, because I get to make people happy. I've moved into this amazing new space which complements what I do, and the whole idea is to create a center of excellence both in non-surgical procedures as well as surgical procedures in this beautiful environment. And we hope to get the surgical side of things running up in 2019, so watch this space. As an aesthetic doctor, I always feel it is paramount to first and foremost take the patient's consideration always into account. So I always give my patients an opportunity to explain what it is that troubles them the most. I obviously will then give my opinion of what it is that would benefit their face. I always want my patients to maintain their individuality. I do not like the one-size-fits-all approach. There's only certain types of people who may be able to pull off those very high cheekbones. On the same note, I also have no issues in telling patients no, especially if I feel patients may be getting a bit carried away. For me, it's very important that you look the best version of yourself.
Dr. Reddy regularly attends world congresses. The most recent one was the largest aesthetic world congress held in Monaco. And as the scientific director of Cosmetica, she was asked to assemble speakers at a congress in Paris called IMCAS.
And I feel it's so important to learn from my colleagues because these are international experts who have so much to offer. In addition to traveling to congresses to learn, I also have the opportunity to speak at these congresses, and I love speaking about aging of the skin, and I also like speaking about complications because we are seeing more complications coming through worldwide, especially when using fillers. And I feel it's so important to educate doctors about these potential complications and how to avoid them. I thoroughly enjoy training local South African doctors and ensuring that they keep up with international best practice.
Most recently, Dr. Reddy's practice hosted international expert Dr. Redka Swoboda from Germany. He was in South Africa to teach local doctors about potential complications and how to achieve the best results in the safest way.
It is very important to stay up to date in aesthetic medicine simply because things are changing so quickly. From 10 years ago, the way we injected fillers is completely different. The techniques have changed, and more importantly, the products have changed. Products have become more safer, products have less side effects, and therefore the only way to keep up to date with what's happening out there is to actually attend congresses and to obviously read journal articles. I find it very satisfying when my patients respond to these treatments in a positive way. And I also am very happy if I can make a difference in someone's life and make them happy. It actually fills my emotional cup.
Dr. Anushka Reddy believes that the best cosmetic outcomes are those which are natural and ultimately improving her patient's sense of self and well-being. Make sure to follow Dr. Anushka Reddy on Instagram for the latest updates in aesthetics treatments. Coming up to the break, we're in the kitchen for a Thai roasted chicken and pumpkin salad, and we take a step into the past with vintage fashion brand Coco and Miles.
It's the food lover's dream escape to Rome returned from just 6,700 Rand with Travel Start's gourmet Italian getaway. Summon the Eternal City as your chance to dine out on the town from breakfast espresso to linguine, fettuccine or pesche al forno, and if there's room, maybe a torta de cioccolato. Go all out Italian with Rome return flights from just 6,700 Rand for travel during September and October 2018. Just another amazing way to enjoy hassle-free, budget-friendly getaways with travelstar.co.za. Subject to availability.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3 in the kitchen with Chef Clem. So now you know the new rule is that whatever we make together, I take it home.
For dinner?
Yes,
yeah,
you heard.
I got the email.
You got the email, awesome. So who says eating healthy has to be boring and tasteless? Clem wants to electrify our taste buds with this heartwarming yet healthy take on a chicken dinner.
All right, let's get started.
So I see you've got some thigh meat, my favorite part of the chicken.
Exactly, but there's a very important step of how you got to cook this. So I've got some beautiful pumpkin. We've got our two pumpkins here. This is Jerry and this is Lola. I was going to show you how we cut them up, but now I've got feelings now.
Jerry and Lola.
Jerry and Lola, so we're going to keep them around for a bit.
Okay.
But the trick is, segment them into little wedges and you pop it in the oven, a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, nothing more.
Okay.
Once they start browning, that's when you add your chicken in. Because the pumpkin takes longer to cook than the chicken does. And that's right, that's it, that thigh meat. Nice, dark, flavoursome. You know,
so like, yummy. It's the most flavorful
It absolutely
part,
is.
Right?
I love it. It's a little more expensive, but you're getting more value for it. You're getting that flavour and the texture. So that's what I always go for. Now we're going to dress that in a nice green coconutty Thai sauce.
Ooh,
super easy.
Yummy.
A lot of basil. I'm loving basil right now.
We love a lot of basil.
Coconut milk.
Okay.
You can use the light version, which has less fat in it. We know coconuts do have fat in it.
Yes.
I mean, coconuts and avos, maybe it's like a good fat, I don't know.
And what is that?
This is some green Thai curry paste. Actually, why am I even playing? All going in. All going in.
Okay.
That's where you're going to get that nice heat and the aromaticness from. We're going to blitz it all up.
Okay, perfect.
It can be nice and chunky. I don't like it too like runny.
Yeah. You don't want it too smooth.
There we go.
So you don't
That
like
quick.
it too smooth, too
Nah.
fine?
You can actually pour that over the chicken and the pumpkin for me.
Oh, over everything?
Over everything. So now it goes back into the oven and it's going to start roasting again. And you know what's done when your chicken starts to brown? Don't overcook it. Don't overcook it.
Yeah.
Even though it's thigh meat, it will still go super rubbery if you overcook it.
Yes, it will.
Cool.
And thigh meat must be tender.
It must be tender. Now, to go with this, we're going to do a nice little spelt salad. Spelt is really great. It's an ancient grain.
I love me some spelt.
Exactly. Like we were talking about it. It makes you chew a little bit, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But it's full of flavors, super delicious. And then I'm going to go in with as many herbs I can find. Go for your nice leafy greens like
What have you put together there? Mint, parsley, basil, more basil?
Coriander. Yeah, all of it in. The
Okay.
soft leafy greens, all of it. Just chuck it in, chop it up. Again, don't kill it. Like, don't chop it too finely or else you're going to lose all that texture and flavor.
Yes.
And it goes black. That's another thing. Don't do that, yeah. So then mix it all up. A little bit of lemon juice goes in there, you know, just to like elevate the flavors.
Okay.
And then super simple. Once your chicken comes out of the oven, you put this, you first go down with your spelt, as we've done over here. And then you top it with your pumpkin, with your chicken, little pumpkin seeds. Bonnie, just like that, that's your dinner done, right?
I love how the coriander just gets the party started. I love it, I love it. Now, if you want this recipe sent directly to your phone, simply SMS chicken to 33650 and you'll get the link and ingredients list. Now, if you missed any of these steps, here's a quick recap.
Classic custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
That definitely looks so delicious. Now, some things just never go out of style. When it comes to all-time favorite sweet treats, Clover Classic Custard has that creamy taste like that takes you back to your childhood.
Yummy. Now, when it comes to fashion, there are certain items that have stood the test of time and always find a place in the modern wardrobe. We're joined now by Zaib Brenner, founder of Coco and Miles, and she's made these classic fashion essentials for her business.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
So, How exactly did you get started in the fashion industry, and what does the name stand for, Coco and Miles?
I initially studied psychology, so I have my BA degree in psych. I never intended to do fashion. It all started when my husband took me to Milan during Fashion Week, and I was very much inspired by the street trends. I was in my element, and I just had this urge to bring these trends back home. So that's basically how Coco and Miles started. I then started trading in a small room, and it grew from there to a bigger room, and it's now 4 years later, and I have a store in Access Park, Kenilworth.
Oh, lovely. And you've just released your vintage collection. What inspired that?
Well, it's always inspired by some era. So for me, it was the 90s, from your bold prints to your ruffles to the furs, and even like your oversized, which is my favorite. Like, I'm obsessed with the oversized trend.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm only doing oversized jerseys this winter.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, I still like a little crop.
You like a bit of a squeeze.
Yeah, I feel like because I've got to, like, you've got to work with what you got.
Yeah.
But what do you think are some of the staples that any classic wardrobe should contain?
Well, it's definitely the LBD, that's the little black dress. It never outdates, it's always a classic. As you can see, Taylor's doing the whole Audrey Hepburn look.
I hope Kayla knows she's going to lose
Taylor.
those glasses just now. And they're coming home with me.
So the black dress is so versatile. If you had to pair them with stilettos, a blazer, you could go to a business meeting, put on a pair of sneakers, biker jacket, and then you have a whole chic street style look. So a black dress is always a must in your wardrobe, and it never outdates.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. If it's the right one, it never outdates.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I think that you have to have in your wardrobe is a blue denim jean and a white shirt. So variations of these might change. Like, you might have a boyfriend jeans or a bow bottom, but a classic white shirt and blue denims never outdate. So as you can see, this is ruffles inspired by the vintage collection. Some fur. Fur's always glamorous, and it's the new trend, and it's not going anywhere. It's...
Okay, and what do we have here?
Talk us through these pieces.
Okay, so the floral kimono is inspired by the Japanese trend, right? And these are also the colors that are in. So they're inspired by nature, flower, the leaves, the colors of autumn. So you'll see the mustards are in. And then also the metallics are a very big comeback. So this is an oversized jacket with a wide-legged pants, and it's not too shiny, and it's subtle.
I love
those
that
pants.
hat. I'm definitely going to be buying it.
Yeah. I've been eyeing those pants. They are gorgeous.
What advice do you have for women to keep in mind when shopping some vintage pieces? Like, is it about the fit, the color, or what should we consider first when buying vintage pieces?
I think when you're choosing something, it has to be timeless, and also the fabric that you choose must be able to go with all the other things in your wardrobe as well. So sometimes a color might look good for your skin, but then the fit's not good. So if the fit's not good, then I just won't buy it. And then I also think you have to love what you're going to buy. Like, it has to grab you, you know? So I think definitely the fit for me.
Yeah. And is there a specialty that you like focusing on? Do you like day wear? Do you like evening? Do you like streetwear? Or do you just do everything?
I do a bit of everything, but I'm more of like a track pant sneaker type of a girl, and I like comfort over anything.
Sure, you're so glamorous, you wouldn't say. Now, if you'd like to keep it classic with some of these vintage looks, head over to our social media platforms for more info about Coco and Miles Fashion House. That's at Afternoon Chat on Twitter and Afternoon Express on Facebook and Instagram, I think, as well.
Yeah, stay right where you are, because we return. Award-winning dancer and choreographer Sbonkaliso Ndaba joins us on the couch.
Clover Classic Custard, the creamy taste that takes you back. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, Abakulu, The Great Ones, is an inspiring new piece of work by one of South Africa's leading contemporary dance choreographers, Sbonkaliso Ndaba. It's referred to as a moving essay, and through the form of dance, examines the initiation process and the role it plays for modern youth.
It's performed by members of the Indoni Dance Academy in Cape Town, which she co-founded in 2014 as a platform to uplift disadvantaged youth in the community. Welcome to Afternoon Express.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, so I studied at a school where our subjects were voice and movement and physical theatre, and it's such a beautiful way to express yourself. Where did your love for dance come from?
Oh my God, okay. I think right in the beginning, the time I realized that I was a person, I was actually dancing.
Wow.
I remember in the age of 6, I already had like a group of people, kids, that were my dancers.
Yeah.
I used to choreograph.
So you had your own dancers?
Yeah, at age of 6, 7.
Wow.
Yeah.
That I would choreograph. So because in the township, I'm from Guamash, Durban.
Yeah.
So we didn't have like halls, school halls and stuff like that. So then I will have like maybe 4 people. One will be at a bus stop, one at halfway, one at the gate, one at the door. When my mom is in town, then we just clean the kitchen. We empty the kitchen out, we create a dance studio.
Oh, that is amazing. That's so sweet. Are you still friends with some of those people, and are they still dancing?
No, they've changed careers.
Okay.
They're now into, yeah.
So are you still dancing, or are you strictly creative director and choreographer right now?
My heart dances all the time, but I'm mostly behind the scenes, and I'm a teacher, dance teacher, and a choreographer as well.
Yeah.
And I'm a mother to all my students.
Yeah, wow. I believe so. And also how you found your students, I found was so amazing. So you go into communities, and then you uplift kids that don't have access to education. Yeah. And how does that work? Tell us about how you formed the Indoni.
Okay, how I first met most of my students, back in the days when I was still dancing at Jazzat. So I used to be called by Department of Education to go to the focus schools in the Western Cape. So they're everywhere. So for me to go and bridge, if the learner is not up to standard for that grade, then they'll call on me and say, come and fix this more. So somehow I had that in me.
Yeah.
So,
and what is the connection? So what changes? Is it the attention from you, I suppose, that through dance, a child is then able to I suppose, learn a little bit easier?
Yeah.
Or have a better time at school?
It's a matter of put yourself as a teacher into that little person's life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, as a teacher, you want your students to fly past you. Then you call yourself a teacher.
Absolutely.
If your student is always behind you, what are you doing?
Exactly.
That should be a question.
Yeah. So your latest piece, Abakulu, you call a moving essay. That's actually so profound. And what does it touch on? I know you touch on issues of initiation and issues of respect.
Yeah.
What is the core narrative?
Okay, Abakulu, to me, is the people that once lived. So we live on their footprints right now. So whatever that they were trying to guide us towards, today is lost.
Okay.
Yeah. So Abakulu, it's like in olden days, a child was disciplined by the nation, by everybody around the child. You know what I mean? Today, you cannot interfere with anybody's child because then it's like, I'm going to sue you and all that. So there are things that we have lost. The initiation, it gears the young men, the young soldiers, to look at their sisters and mothers as queens and princesses, which today doesn't happen like that.
My brothers definitely look at me like I'm a queen.
Lucky you.
They better. I want to hear some success stories from the kids that you've taught, because you're a mother to them. So I want to know about a few stories of kids that have really gone on to supersede you.
Now, there's lots of nice stories, beautiful stories.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, our students now, they are teaching in the townships.
Wow.
So there's a group of about 8 of them, They are now young company members. So they've got schools in the township whereby they go on weekends or after the academy to go pass on the knowledge, and as well as not everybody that is there that has to become a dancer.
Yeah,
true.
You know, it's a way of the discipline that you learn there and to how to handle life in general. So we've got one that just left to go to work in some hotel in, I think, in the waterfront or something as a manager.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I love that you say that just because the children are coming to the class, it doesn't mean that they have to become dancers.
No,
there's
not at
so
all.
much cohesion. They get so much from just
confidence.
being young.
You teach them confidence, which is such a hard thing to teach.
Yep. Well, we've got young people that, this one student, he's been failing and failing and failing. Today he's with us and is flying. Like the society, he has proven the society wrong. Like if you don't know how to count to 5, that makes you partially not worth somebody.
Yeah.
But not with us. Today, on the 3rd of June, he's going to be shining. He's got these huge leaps that he does. And you think to yourself, like, we nearly lost him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's such great news.
So,
we wish him luck.
Yeah.
For the 5th of June, you said?
3rd of June.
3rd of June. We've got good luck with those leaps. Thank you so much for being on the show.
You do just one thing this year. Bank better in 2018. Get the Capitec credit card with a limit of up to 150,000 Rand. With personalized interest from 14.5% based on your credit profile and affordability. Bank better to live better with Capitec.
All right, now the focus in tonight's episode of Presenter Search on 3 is on Johannesburg. And as the auditions move to the City of Gold in the hopes of finding SABC3's next star, today we have a familiar face in the loft with us. She is no stranger to showbiz, having hosted Top Chef South Africa, Top Billing, and of course the hostess, to name a few. She is also a guest judge at the Johannesburg auditions of Presenter Search on 3. Lorna Maseko, welcome back to the loft, baby.
Hello.
How are you, beautiful?
So good to be here again. I love this place.
Yeah.
Actually, we listed all those shows, but I've also been watching Yvonne Bonang's reality show.
have you?
And it is so funny. I binge watch. It's hilarious. You and Pinky Girl are my favourites.
I know. We do have tons of fun, I must say. Like, no day is ever the same, so which is great. So, yeah.
And another place where no day was the same was at the Joburg Presenter Search auditions.
Oh my gosh, it was the most long a day I've ever had in my life. But it was quite interesting. I was just saying, you know, like, I think some people go to the audition, like you can see that they were maybe walking, you know, across Caller Drive and saw like a queue and decided, you know what, maybe, what's going on here? No, the auditions for what? Top Billing. Okay, no, let me come. And then they just like
definitely
stood on the line and decided today they're going to be famous. So, but you got some really, really talented people from Joburg. People that like came from like other like cities or whatever to come and audition.
And people who are so well prepared, because you did get those who just waltzed in and they were okay.
But they did keep us entertained, thank goodness. Because you know, if it was all just like great, it would just be a little bit boring. But I'm glad there's like characters and interest. I mean, this lady like.
Were there any that stood out for you? Because I've just seen Dennis there auditioning, and I mean, he's amazing.
Dennis?
Yeah, he's actually a blogger and he's got a YouTube channel. But so who stood out for you?
Well, the guy that picked up Leanne while trying to do a link.
You guys were having fun.
No, it was tons of fun. It was. Like, what is going on?
What on earth is that guy wearing?
Oh my gosh!
Oh, that's hilarious.
It is hilarious. It's really, really fun. But it's also good when you see those people that have prepared, that have done their hair, their makeup is done properly. They know which show.
They're taking it seriously.
Yeah, they know which show they want to be on. You know,
and they know what the name of the show they want to be on is called.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
you've gone through this process. You've gone through the presenter search process.
But
so,
I went through the presenter search process before Simba. I'm not going to reveal my age. I have not started with Botox yet. And it was, mine was like before Simba, and we had to like write in why you thought you'd be a top billing presenter. From there, then they took in this like form, and then they decided who was going to audition. And then I made it to the top 10. So, and look at me now.
Exactly.
So, you know. So
what were you looking for when as a judge?
I was looking for somebody who was put together, someone who actually took the job seriously, somebody who wasn't trying to be a Bonnie or a Ginny or a Jonathan, but just themselves with lots of energy and personality. Because that's what entertainment is about. I don't want to see somebody who's going to put me to sleep. I'm watching television because I want to be entertained.
Exactly.
I want to be engaged. I want to laugh. I want to be amused. I want to be charmed. You know, all those great things. So,
Nice.
What I actually did an interview yesterday and somebody said, well, what is it? And I said, well, you just know when someone has what it takes.
Absolutely.
Because I don't want to sit and look at somebody who's boring.
Absolutely.
Be interesting.
Sorry, carry on, Bonds.
No, carry on, please.
So I was going to say, the funny thing about presenting, though, or TV hosting, is that you actually grow into your personality. So, like, I look at stuff that I did on top billing. Like, I remember my first top billing shoot. I will never forget this day. They were like, I remember Michelle called and said, do you want to do a top billing shoot? I was like, what? Is that a question? Of course I want to do a top billing shoot. Then I went on the 7 Seas Voyager and I told everybody that I was going to be on top billing. I was so excited. When they edited it, I didn't even say a word. I was just like doing action shots, like putting, like, yes.
No, but can I tell you, I remember your auditions and I remember going through them and I remember telling everybody, no, my favourite is the ballerina. That was always my favourite.
But you know, I guess you hit on a point that's really important, and it's the X factor. So even if you still have a lot of growing to do, we all had a lot of growing to do.
We still do.
We still do. We learn all the time. But the X factor gets you in the door. And to this day, I can't tell you what goes into an X factor. You just know it when you walk through the door.
When you see it, you know it, you want it, you want to have it. It's like a good burger.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm clearly hungry.
You escalated that. Now all I'm thinking is burgers. Here's a sneak peek of what you can expect from Presenter Search on 3 tonight at 7:30 on SABC3. And don't forget that if you missed tonight's episode, you can catch the repeat on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. We've got renowned contemporary dance choreographer Sbonkaliso Ndaba in the loft, and she's brought some students from the Indoni Dance Academy to give us a sneak peek of her new work.
This Thursday evening at 7:30 on Presenter Search on 3, the City of Gold awaits as auditions head to Johannesburg.
We're expecting the biggest television personalities. Hello, hello, hello.
Oh, there's so much talent. I wish you were just here.
Join us. You know you want to.
That's Presenter Search on 3, Thursday nights at 7:30 on SABC3. Repeat Saturdays at 12 midday. The stage is yours.
If you do just one thing this year, bank better in 2018 with Capitec.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. We're live on SABC3. In 2014, Sbonkaliso Ndaba co-founded the Indoni Dance Academy to give local disadvantaged youth a platform to grow and express themselves. She joins us now with some of the students from the academy to perform an excerpt from her latest piece of work, Abakhulu, The Great Ones.
Bushmaya Ned Kadashmak Tiete Malkutak Dewe Tavianak Aikanat Bushmaya of Bona
Come on over, guys. We want to meet you.
Wow, that was
Come introduce yourselves to us.
Well done. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for the performance.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to be back again live on your screens tomorrow at 4:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Join us again then as we kick off the weekend with American-born house producer Jonathan Hamilton, better known as Zion. That's going to be an amazing show. We'll see you then. Good night and happy eating. Bye.
Afternoon Express, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.